Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 26 of RimWorld Survival. So, last episode I asked all of you to go ahead and vote on new goals. So here we have them. We've got the old goals on the right here, Network of Tunnels, Bionic Spine for Tony, and Open the Ancient Danger. And the new goals, build geothermal, harvest spare organs like kidneys and lungs, and then make up my own goal. So thanks for the make up my own goal. That does make my life a little bit easier. So the first thing I want to do in this episode is address some of the tips that you all have for me. So Erithakabe mentioned that I might want to door up some of my new tunnel system. So that's a very fair point. I really only need to add, transport crash. I really only need to add a few doors here. So 4 doors will make it unusable for raiders. And this transport crash is on the wrong tile, so you could be the best pawn in the existence of pawns, and I really wouldn't be able... Oh, you're actually a really good one, too. But not going to be able to get you in time, so... goodbye. I know that's a kind of dark way of looking at it. Alright. I do have some other tips, but I'm going to put Tony and Stormy on limited radiation with everyone else. Another thing I'm going to do is I want to get rid of these, corpses. They're probably going to rot before I get rid of them because the radiation rots everything really, really, really quickly. Another thing I wanted to do is to move my chem fuel generators. And we haven't done that yet, so let me force James to do one. Another thing that occurred to me is the no radiation zone needs to include Kazumi's bedroom and should not include here, which is has no roof, and this has no roof either, I think. Yep. Okay, good. Another one of my tasks is geothermal generator, so I'm going to work on that. So I gotta add, I gotta add this to limited and no radiation zones as well. No radiation can include that whole area, as can limited for that reason. Because that has roof coverage. Alright, some other tips. Let's see, Travis Schallenberger mentioned that I really should be willing to sell any sculpture that I make to passing tradespeople because I can always replace them with marble, and you're absolutely right. That is a very good point. So I will always be willing to part with even my masterworks, unless of course it's part of a goal. So if you all have a goal for me, like create a uranium statue, which was one of the voted options this week, to commemorate, the community or whatever, then yeah, I won't sell that uranium statue. That would be a little small of me. So, yep. Alright. I am just painting limited radiation zones around so that we can haul some stones and stuff like that. So Falu got a disease here, so I'm gonna... Tony, I'm gonna tend to him. These doors, because of the hauling I just queued up, need to be accessible. And I'll just have to keep an eye on making sure people aren't harming themselves. Agro and Janes have the highest radiation right now, so I'm not allowing them out. Stormy should probably research before haul. So I'll fix that. Agro's cranking out all these blocks, but what I really need is a jacket. I need materials. We're waiting on the last jacket for trade, I believe. Let me double check on that. Yep, we have 5 out of 6. I'm going to, let's go ahead and power this on and start to cremate these corpses. It's much easier to cremate the corpses when they're not rotten, because the moment they start to rot, it gets real gross for everyone involved. I don't know why I'm picking on you, Aggro, but you are going to be my little maid for a moment. And let's go over some more tips. Ash mentions that pants and shirts didn't get the only allowed ingredients ticked. Let me double check on that. Pants, only allowed ingredients, yeah. And shirts. And toques. And dusters, okay, dusters are already done. And there we go. And that allows you to count, more accurately count the sort of clothing that I've needed and wanted queued up. Another thing I could do is change the restrictions now that people aren't all having mental breaks to have them work. What else? Dan Hellman mentioned that the turret at my outpost needs to be... Hello, Dawson. Needs to be popped up by 1. Moved 1 forward so it has better line of sight on the west. That's a good point once I'm back there next. Oops, I hadn't generated the planet. Apologies. While we load the planet real quick. I usually remember to do this first. Oh boy. And because I generated 100% of this planet, that took a long time to load. Alright, I was going out to the planet here to make sure... 15 days. Yeah, I have plenty of time. Okay. Another thing I should probably do is have a temp tea. So temp tea stockpile here, where we are going to put low. And this is another Dan Hellman suggestion here. Where is the Psychi tea? Now when we brew tea, we will bring it to the temp tea. And then eventually they'll move it over to this here, which has become steel. Cool. What I'm going to do is probably get rid of the steel there. Just so that it actually becomes a tea house, not a steel house. Alright, the little cave that we opened up here has really cool soil here. I didn't realize there'd be lichen on this map, but there is. So let's start walling it off to keep us cooler. They somehow resisted the crazy radiation. Alright, so we are about to get access to more cloth, and then we'll be able to make that last jacket for the marine armor. Let's see. No radiation, home zones. You know, all this should be the home zone. We really ought to clean up our kill box so that it's not disgusting when we use it. And in fact, due to the possibility of an infestation, I really should have turrets inside the base. That's actually one thing I really meant to do a lot more of. Adam C. actually made a comment about that. The fact that I have this giant underground base, I really need to pay more attention to the potential of a infestation, which means having turret systems and stuff like that around the base. That's a very good point. So there is one turret sitting there. Ideally, I would want uranium turrets. I do need to research deep drilling to enable that. Uranium turrets aren't flammable and they're tough, hence the use of them. Alright, so Falu and Janes is having a bad time, I think is the... Ooh, new lovers. Aggro and Kazumi, cool. That's going to be useful for bedrooms here, because, of course, I have the potential of a, Janes. A new, few people joining us once we pop this Ancient Danger open, so... Saving myself a bedroom is awesome. So let's try to build an excellent or better bed. There it is. Excellent. And then aggro, you will... We will slightly rearrange this bedroom here, and Kazumi will move in. I wonder how Safalu feels about his daughter's new boyfriend, who actually saved her life. So, you know what? Actually, he doesn't get a say. Alright, Jane's aggro is moving the bed. Cool. Oh, this chem reactor needs to be powered on. Aggro and Kazumi. So this bedroom is now no longer used. I'm just going to power off the heater because we don't really need to heat it down there anymore. Actually, looking at this, we don't need these marble doors anymore. I'm just turning them into walls. I'd want people to go around and not track filth into the research room if possible. Combat supplier flying overhead. Cool. Let's see. I'm going to follow Travis's suggestion. Safalu, you must be, yeah, over your infection. And uninstall all of my beautiful art. Alright, you'll never haul. Alright, Stormy and Safalu. And I'm even going to uninstall the big grand sculpture, just so that I can do some good trades. Because I can always replace it. And here is the cotton I need, the cloth, to get my new beautiful jacket. Oh, produced chem fuel. Alright, let's move this guy over to... I want to keep that door open, keep this door closed. And my warden, my best trader, would be probably Stormy as well. So we'll get that going. Combat supplier, let me think. Yeah, I have some random weapons and stuff that I could smelt down, but I'm just, I guess, equally eager to sell them. An old revolver. All of my beautiful statues. And as far as buying something goes, I'm not going to be able to afford probably much here. I've got 600. For 600, I could get a chain shotgun. That's actually not terrible. But I think I'd prefer to... Yeah, I'd prefer the silver for now. Alright, so in order to move the silver, we need to add a limited radiation zone underneath it. I had some limited radiation zones here, here, here. These were all corpses, so we can get rid of those. Here was a turret, but it's not there anymore. Haven't built any of the doors to the Ancient Danger, but that's mostly because Safalu's been sick, and Jane's is on a no radiation because he has really high radiation. Alright, we're making the last jacket. The next thing I want to do is another grand statue. Which means James, the grump here, will be able to enjoy some art. Let me make sure he's not making a small one. Oh, yeah, he was making a small one. Alright, we need more material for it. Alright, now that everyone's cremated, go ahead and kill that. Alright, we still need more materials. Once Tony's done, someone should start doing the hauling this marble. That's not a very good place for you to work, buddy. You're already in a bad mood. Trouble is, dazing. Going on a daze is real dangerous, right? So, mood management is important. Let's see. I'm gonna go force him to drink beer and tea. Not a bad thing to force a person to do. I'm forcing you to go enjoy yourself. And we should see that mood spring back up. Yep, springing right back up out of the danger zone. Alright, so now the chem fuel is pretty close to where we store it. And it's nice and smooth. The corridor is nice and smooth so we can travel to it quickly. And I think I'll put another standing lamp here. Now Kazumi and Agro presumably should be in high spirits because they are in a relationship now. 6 and 10, probably? Yeah, Kazumi was rescued and recruited by Agro, so it's... Alright, so now that we have, now we have all our jackets, we can go deliver them. But I have to decide who to do it. We also need to re-sow the crops there. Cool. My hen has the plague. Let's see. So if I go to pets, I'm going to include 2 spots here that include animal sleeping spots, and that way I can actually heal the hen. The hen here, let's heal with... We have enough herbal. I'm just going to heal it with herbal. It seems like probably like overkill to probably most of you, but honestly, I'd rather have the eggs than the herbal meds. But these jerks aren't even tending. Another thing I could do is probably an auto door here. Speeds up travel time. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that. And there's nowhere to store the marble blocks. I'm going to store them here for now. I'm going to put it on low. We haven't actually built any of these doors yet, but Cefalu's now on his feet, so he should be contributing. Now let's... Okay, now it's a little bit quicker to move around the kitchen. And he's hiding in his room. Okay, good. Well, that's a lot less dangerous than the wandering that he could have done. So all things considered, I'm not complaining. So Stormy is working on advanced fabrication, which will allow us to get the bionic parts, one of which is for Tony for her spine, but then probably all the people that are, you know, have bad legs and whatnot. Jane's has a peg leg, and Kazumi has a really messed up left and right leg, for that matter. They will get some tending to as well. It's warning me about low food, but I'm not entirely sure that's true. But actually, you know what? It is a little low. Let's turn this back to rice, and this back to rice. Okay, now we're working on dusters. We can fulfill that trade order. I haven't done that yet, but I do plan on it. I just have to decide who should go. Probably Tony? Even though she has a bad back? Alright, so Janes, you are a hauler, but let's lay up on the hauling a little bit. Actually, I don't know why you're tailoring either. Trying to figure out what exactly he's doing here. He's still just sort of hauling everything. Well, it's because he's set on no radiation zone, because I don't want him traveling too far. But I'm gonna lift that to limited radiation now and see if he can't start constructing what I need constructed. Okay, so you're first building this wall. That's fine. Just don't have a major break while you're out here. That would be extraordinarily bad. 34. Okay. Probably back to no radiation. That was a lot of radiation for even that quick jump. Okay, I no longer have the low food warning anymore. That's really weird that they rice and psychoid leaves side by side there. Janes is finally cranking out the grand statue. That's cool. He's using just about every block in the house. Alright, so Janes, let's see. I'm going to make sure that you don't have a mental break in the middle of making your art. Cutting an ear off or something like that. Does that be bad? We still haven't hauled any of this silver anywhere important. I suppose the good news is we do have a lot of backup clothing. We've got pants, shirts, toques, and 1 out of 2 dusters. A lot of people are currently wearing parkas, but I do plan on changing them all over to dusters. Pretty soon here, Tony's going to need to be set to no radiation as well. We're getting up to that point pretty soon. Alright. Yep. No radiation now. She can't go back out there. Some cargo pods of flake, and that might as well be on Mars, because it's really far. This kitchen is looking filthy. Trouble is, the kitchen is also like a major throughway. The other problem is this little crafting area is very inaccessible safely. Okay, so the hen is over the plague. Cool. That means that you are going to lose wandering rights. Now, I was going to have Tony do the trade order, but now that her radiation's a little higher than I'm comfortable with, that's probably going to be delayed. Safalu is working on the doors to prevent raiders from using my tunnel system. And his radiation is, oh, big whopping 0. Sometimes when you cross open territory like this, you don't get radiation. It's based upon ticks. So if you aren't out there for a specific tick, you don't end up, you know, harmed by it. So we're working on the doors to protect the Ancient Danger, and then I plan on cracking open the Ancient Danger. I would like the power armor. Looking at my outpost here, it would need to be a constructor that obtains the power armor. Maybe I'm looking at you, Safalu. Although you're a pacifist, so God, I would really hate for you to be stopped by like a raid or something and have you just roll over and die. And that, if not Cefalu, that only really leaves Jane's. Although I do believe Aggro could probably manage a constructing of a transport pod. He's got a construction of 7, so it's above 6, which is the minimum. So maybe I'll send Aggro to do it. Aggro's likely to be the one to wear it. Alright, so right now they're doing something really silly, which is to bring half of what we need for the doors and leaving the other half. And we're starting to dig the tunnel to the... Cefalu can build this. To the steam geyser. James is at his extreme break risk. Yeah, alright. I'm gonna allow James to basically do what he wants for a bit. I'm sort of fearful that he'll have like a dangerous mental break and cause harm to people. Now, another issue is I'm going to need plasteel and gold to make any sort of bionics, and I don't have a deep drill source of plasteel or gold. And I wouldn't really be all that comfortable deep drilling for it unless I had a lot of defenses to protect against the likelihood of an infestation digging up through the deep drill. I'm changing this around just a little bit more, putting the door here. And we got an eclipse. Okay, I think we're almost through this tunnel here, which means I'm going to have Cefalu start to do the steam geyser. The ever-important steam geyser. So I'm probably going to force Aggro to do the rest of this mining so that we have a tunnel out to the steam geyser area. And then eventually what I'll do is I'll wall up the steam geyser once I'm capable, whatever. Alright. Now I do want to make sure that, oh god, Cefalu, you're already doing it. That we're not harming ourselves standing on islands here. So what I'm going to do here is to remove the limited radiation zones here. I don't want anyone wandering out anymore for stone hauling. Or slag. Okay, that looks good. What we do need is some more steel for that geothermal. I'd love to work on goals that I can cross off the list quick. So Aggro's going to be mining there. Looks like Janes is joining him. We got cargo pods of agave, but it's at the trade post, so that's basically impossible. Making sure that there's overhead mountain where we're mining out. Right. Mr. Cefalu, you're already working on the geothermal. Perfect. So the idea here is to build it, wire it up, and wall it off. So the wires are going to look something like this, which is ridiculous, but I really see no alternative. I could wire it straight there, but that means that if there's fires, I'm going to have to be outside, which is dangerous. Which also means that this is also going to become a home zone. And I'll probably smooth this out as well. which is a whole lot of smoothing, but that will allow me to traverse to do repairs and stuff like that pretty quickly. Also should home zone up these doors as well. Alright, so follow, your buildup is initial. I gotta be careful about the amount of buildup that we allow. And then aggro is going to need to be cranking out more components. Wow, eating a meal and drinking a beer out there, that is an extraordinarily bad idea. Let me tell you why. You will grow extra limbs and not want them. Alright, so we got the advanced components here. Deep drilling and ground penetrating radar is absolutely the next step, I think, for us. We're slowly building up our stocks of rice again and tea. Beer is sort of lagging behind a little bit. I'll turn these to hops soon. Actually, what I should do is put hops in here. And we don't need that much hill root. And this is supposed to be rice anyway. We'll fix it all. Alright, so that power cable's running pretty far now. And Janes is helping out. And he's going to be on a major break risk. Cool. I still have a bunch of time for that trade to be fulfilled. So that's not that risky. Just sort of letting the time run out. Okay, the eclipse is ending. As you could see, throughout the eclipse, I did not run into any like power outages or anything like that, which is great. So that'd be a real threat. It's also a good way for aggro to get some more experience building and stuff. Alright, so that should have live power. Yep, it's one continuous line. So Cefalu's just going to finish this off. Stop eating your meals outside, dude. You're going to have lots of time to dig away at that, at your life force. Don't spend it pointlessly. I could micromanage him to, you know, not do that to himself, but I think it's actually kind of funny. Alright, so this whole area of mining is done. If we need more steel, there is more steel available, but I think we're okay for now. It actually probably wouldn't be a terrible idea to queue up a little bit more steel because it's nice to have an excess in case I need traps or repairs or whatever. That was the second to last delivery of steel, I think, I hope. He's hauling steel from really dumb places, though, which is why it's taken Cefalu so long to build this up. Setting Kazumi on no radiation. Her radiation climbed a bit too high. Higher than I'm comfortable with. Alright, at this point I need components. So, Mr. Aggro, you are going to be put on smithing. Higher than mining. So we'll finish that node. And at this point, I'm just about out of time, guys. So if you have any tips, tricks, feedback for me, drop me a line. All the people that voted, I wanted to thank you for your vote and your contribution to this series. If you have any suggestions that you'd like to see on the poll and you're not a patron, I do have a suggestion box in Discord. You can find the link to Discord at Rhadamant.com. If you would like to become a pawn in the series, 4 of my patrons have been edited into the Ancient Danger. A little bit of spoiler there. There are 4 spots for people, and they get to become characters in the series. And if that interests you, just let me know. Thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Adios.